So the jungle is very popular with mad scientists.
Yeah, apparently Venturstein has been going around liberating evil science labs all over the area, creating an army of freaking science experiments.
So it turns out that the reason why Venturestein even wants Rusty there in the first place is to tell the other scientists no more hurt science.
Right.
So that they can be free and live in peace.
So the episode's just a big public service announcement against animal testing in labs / genetic modification.
Maybe. So we see like a bunch of different science experiment people throughout the episode, and one of them is like the fly man who just has like a fly head on top of like a normal body, like in regular clothes, and it looks just like the Fly from The Fly, which is like a 1958 horror movie. It's another black and white movie where, again, it looks just like that with the little pincher claws and just a regular head on top of like a regular man's body. Did you notice 2 of the Steins? Do you recognize them?
No.
There were 2 Steins, and I didn't notice this the first watch, but Sunny Stein and Ted Stein also made a reappearance. That was the Fred and Shaggy.
Oh, from that episode.
Spoof characters from that episode reappearing as Steins.
Oh, there's going to be so much good cosplay out of this.
I know. Actually, the first thing I thought when I saw Carl was like, how?
How can I cosplay this?
No, it was more like, how is this going to be cosplay, and do I really want to see this? But Venturestein pretty much realizes that Rusty is trying to betray him in like 0.002 seconds.
Yeah.
With the J-pad, and gets very put out about it.
He's a little upset.
Yeah. So
maybe he feels a little betrayed.
So they get put in jail.
And Hank, in the meantime, is super high on coffee beans and is having kind of an issue. He has vomited and otherwise expunged everything in his body out. And he has also decided he goes to this temple and sees a statue of a bat, which were sacred, and decides that he will be the bat. And I love that his bat costume actually references some of the Inca art of bats from that period. Oh, so, like, if you notice, his mask wasn't his typical, because Venturestein is actually wearing the Batman Hank mask. Right. Well, Hank's is drawn in the same style that the Inca drew some statues in that area.
I thought that he had ripped it off of the statue that he looked at.
Oh, gosh. Did he rip it off?
Where else did he come from?
I just thought he brought his rainy day craft bin.
I liked how Hank got very poetic as he got caffeinated. He was talking about nature, who's apparently now his mommy, and he's crawling in her green womb.
And I don't have a mommy.
I know. Because then Venturestein sends out this message to everyone?
So now the government and all the evil scientists are all watching.
Who knows who else got it. But he tells them about ERG.
Which is...
Which is what?
The United Repressed Grotesque Humanity.
So let's call them Grotesque Humanity from now on.
Yeah. Okay. Almost makes sense.
Yeah. And so it's for all those who suffer at the hands of scientists. The emblem is a hitchhiker, like holding a little thing over his head, over his back, like a little bag over his back, with a snake head.
Right.
So we see some more of the characters that receive the message. There's a giant spider that looks just like the spider from this 1960s German film called The Horrors of Spider Island. It was, fun fact, an adult movie originally called It's Hot in Paradise.
Oh.
But these
are all island horror stories.
Right.
The obscurity.
It's fantastic. Also, did you recognize, have you seen that YouTube video with the dog head, the dismembered dog head? Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like this supposed like Soviet experiment that they actually removed this dog's head, and they are claiming that it's still alive, and it's like hotly contested, but it's black and white, and it could just be that they're keeping the central nervous system activated. Right. Whatever it is, it's really totally freaky looking.
And then, okay, so it pans to Helper.
Yeah.
Because he's trying to get to them.
Yes.
And he's in some kind of Moby Dick storyline for like a second. Like the whale swallows him, and then the whale starts fighting with the giant squid, and then Helper's like, forget this noise. Blast through them both.
Or beep boop, beep boop.
Beep boop, beep boop. And gets the heck out of there.
So let's talk about Hatred's like disturbing flashback.
Yeah. He starts having flashbacks to when he was treated for his boy-loving problem.
I don't know if it was because he was treated or if it caused it. I think it's on purpose mysterious.
The reason why he started?
Yeah.
Because, okay, so he gets this injection.
It's called Soldier X.
The injection?
Yeah.
Oh, so they were trying to turn him into a super soldier.
Maybe.
Like in X-Men, Soldier X. And it goes horribly wrong.
Well, there's this chart. Okay, remember that they flashed to a chart? It said that his strength, endurance, agility, and aggression were all improved. And there was like a teeny tiny thing for empathy.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it's basically like Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
And all of the experiments up to when the adamantium actually worked. Mm-hmm. He was one of the failures. He ended up loving boys. Like, he came out of it and immediately, like, lurched for a young boy and started biting his clothes off of him.
Yeah.
It was a little disturbing.
They were having a bring your son to work day. And he just mauled one of the children.
Yeah.
Who was wearing, ironically enough, a Captain Sunshine shirt.
Yeah. T-shirt.
So I guess the government made him a pedophile. So a crowd of grotesque humans confronts Venture Stein eventually about harboring Dr. Venture because he hasn't killed him yet. And it looks like in the crowd there's like Smokey the Bear. I could be totally wrong. It looks like Smokey the Bear. 2 Oompa Loompas.
I did notice them.
Showed up. Also Swamp Thing. A literal elephant man with their trunk and everything, and maybe a Terminator? Like, I'm not sure. So they're temporarily distracted, however, by the appearance of the bat in the forest. So cue Hank being ridiculously effective as the bat. I just like that the moment that anyone ever sees him, they're not for 1 millisecond confused like who it is.
No.
Like, everyone's like, Hank! And he's like, I'm the bat.
I am the bat.
I'm sorry. I am the bat.
I am the bat.
The best.
He had the Christian Bale gravelly voice, which is ironic because everyone always complains about that.
Yeah.
And is like, why do they do that?
It just doesn't make sense why a multi-millionaire can't invest in some voice-altering technology for his super science suit. Hank ends up setting a trap for the giant crab. He ends up using his jetpack in an effective flying way. He does this really cool smoke trick where he jumps into the fire, and I was like, Hank, you're going to be on fire. And then he opens his cape and all the smoke flies out.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh,
it was awesome.
Was a plan?
And he distracts the Carl, Cheetah Man. It's amazing what he's doing there.
Do you think they're setting Hank up to become an actual superhero? Scary thought.
Yeah.
It's the world for it.
It's not, I was going to say, it's not out of the question. Back to Hatred, who basically asked them to leave him in the jungle. Something about spending his autumn years where he can be comfortable or something like that.
Like, he thinks that boobs make him weird enough to stay in their group.
So, I immediately get excited.
Me too!
Because I think this is the perfect segue for Brock to come back. That's the first thing I thought. Oh my gosh, they're setting it up. This is it. They're laying the foundation. And even though Hatred ends up leaving the jungle with them, I think that he's going to go back to that thought again and be like, listen, I was really happy just being myself in the jungle. Yeah. And I'm retiring. And I feel like right now is such an important time for Brock to be around the boys. They really need a father figure.
Feels. So many feels.
They really need a father figure.
Screw that, they need a mother figure, and that's why I always thought of...
They need a Brock.
And
a Brock Lobster.
I know. A monster Brock Lobster. I think that, it's not like we don't like Hatred. We like Hatred.
No, he's fine.
He's grown on us, right?
My heart is so much bigger for Brock.
Yeah. Brock seems to provide more for the family as far as, emotional support. Oh my god, what are we saying?
So, Hank decides to turn the giant crab monster into the Hankmobile.
Which, why is it called the Hankmobile if he's the bat?
I know. It should be...
It's Hank, I guess.
Well, they can't call it the Batmobile. I'm pretty sure that's...
It just doesn't make sense. Also, what about your alias?
Don't think about that.
Did you notice that he said that he made it because he ate all the crab? He had a heavy crab lunch, I think is what he said.
Yeah.
Grody.
Which means he ate the entire inside of that crab.
A monster mutant crab.
After, like, his caffeine issue, he goes and rescues Dr. Venture and Hatred, who are being chased. Of course, it crashes right before they get to the beach. Mm-hmm. And so they run out onto the beach. And poor Hank has a caffeine crash.
I know.
He just crumbles to the ground.
So he's still learning.
He was doing so well.
He was doing great.
But
his plan actually was going to work. He threw the J-pad into the forest and it was going to explode.
He detonated it and everything. Like, he set the timer, threw it, and then he just totally crashes.
Yeah, and I guess the J-pad, like they said, wasn't made for, rough terrain and getting damp.
Shorted.
So then Rusty... starts begging for mercy while the crowd advances on him. Helper lunges out of the ocean, and immediately Rusty goes, "Kill these guys!
Kill these guys!"
So then a new boat of grotesque humans,
like 3 of them,
on the horizon,
barreling up.
Did you notice any celebs in the boat?
Oh gosh,
human centipede.
Mm-hmm.
There was like a robotic orangutan. There was a green version of Otto Aquarius. I don't think it was him, though. The Christian sea guy.
Oh, yeah.
Weirdly enough, Rico, who is the sidekick in the Halloween episode of the dude guy.
Yeah.
He was there. Weird.
Was he a science experiment? I guess
I guess
were.
So, yeah. He was. The one who sniffs Dean's crotch a lot.
Right, yeah. So, meanwhile, Michelle Bachman, or whatever her name is, Margaret Backwoods.
Thank you.
She is in Colonel Manhour's office and disappears all of a sudden once she realizes what's going on. She choppers into this remote island beach place.
I guess because one of her constituents is like on the beach. Although I don't know if Rusty is the voting type.
I really don't see him as the get up and vote kind of person. But she is bound and determined to get him back in time for the election.
And I guess her whole punchline is that she explodes. Also, Abomination.
Abomination. Oh.
Hilarious! In 2012. So Rusty explains that, don't worry guys, I got this. And the next time we see her, she's appearing in Congress, but I believe she's actually supporting the ERG party.
Yes. She's cool. Speaking on their behalf, and just like them, because Rusty has Venturesteined her as well.
I know. And it's kind of a happy ending.
In this weird super science world that we live in.
Mm-hmm. And hey guys! Helper's back.
Helper!
He's Helper again. He sounds slightly different. His beep boops are more like but
little tidbit, I did a little screenshot because Hank Co's Super World looked a little different.
Okay.
So I don't know if anybody caught some of the things that are on the sign that he offers. There's a food court, electronics, there's puppet repair, private detective, travel agency, a notary public, massage school supplies, and vegetable material, and more. So,
good.
There's the Hank Co. Bank. They're having a bonus sale, 0% off today.
They're having way too much fun with Hank World.
Yeah, like
Hank Co. Super World.
Yeah, he has expanded.
So in the credits this week, Kimson was Kimson Hurt Science Albert. So that's fun.
Wonderful. And the shirt of the week for the Shirt Club, which you guys should check out. Some of the shirts are already sold out.
Yeah.
Is an ERG shirt, and it's the Che Guevara spinoff. Basically. What's the word? Parody.
Venturesteined.
If you want to get in touch with us, our Twitter is at VeryAdventureGirls, GRLS. You can like us on the Facebooks. Our blog, veryadventurevodcast.blogspot.com. And you can email us, veryadventurevodcast@gmail.com. We're so available. All right. Have a great week.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Boom.